Have you ever wondered what made the Vikings such a formidable and fascinating civilization? The Vikings, a captivating civilization from a millennium ago, continue to intrigue us today with their complex history and unique culture. A society of seafarers, warriors, traders, and explorers from the Scandinavian region, the Vikings left an indelible mark on the world that is still evident in our modern times. The Vikings were more than just raiders and pillagers, as they are often depicted in popular culture. They were a resourceful people, skillful seafarers, and innovative craftspeople who were adept at not only surviving but thriving in the harsh northern climates. They were navigators and explorers who embarked on daring voyages across vast and uncharted waters, reaching as far as North America, well before Christopher Columbus. Yet, the Vikings were also warriors, fierce and formidable. Their exploits and battles, the stuff of legends, their tales and sagas often filled with gods, heroes, and mythical creatures, have inspired countless books, films, and TV shows, fueling our fascination and curiosity. But who were these people, really? Where did they come from? What drove them to embark on these perilous journeys and wage these epic battles? And why, after nearly 3 centuries of dominance, did their civilization come to an end? These are the questions that we'll explore in this video series. We'll delve into the origins of the Vikings, tracing their roots back to the Scandinavian region. We'll examine the Viking Age, a period of expansion and exploration that saw the Vikings reach far and wide, establishing trade routes and colonies. We'll look at their seafaring skills and their prowess in battle. We'll also explore their legacy, the enduring impact they had on the world. And finally, we'll investigate the end of the Vikings, the decline and eventual dissolution of their civilization. So, let's embark on this journey together. Let's dive into the roots of this enigmatic civilization and uncover the truth about the Vikings. The origins of the Vikings are as intriguing as their exploits. The roots of these formidable seafarers can be traced back to Scandinavia, a region that today consists of Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. The term Viking itself hails from Old Norse Vikingur, essentially meaning a pirate or raider. In the early days before they earned their reputation as seafaring warriors, the Vikings were primarily farmers and traders. Their societies were organized around small rural communities, where they cultivated the land and reared livestock. They lived in longhouses, large wooden structures that could house an entire extended family, reflecting the importance of family and kinship in Viking society. Religion played a crucial role in Viking culture. They were polytheists, worshipping a pantheon of gods led by Odin, the god of war and wisdom, and Thor, the god of thunder. The Vikings believed in an afterlife, and it was thought that warriors who died bravely in battle would be rewarded in Valhalla, a warrior's paradise. The Vikings were also known for their democratic tendencies. They held regular meetings known as things, where free men could voice their opinions and settle disputes. These gatherings were an integral part of Viking society, demonstrating their commitment to justice and communal decision-making. Women in Viking society held a relatively high status. They could own property, request a divorce, and even become shield maidens, women who chose to fight as warriors. This level of gender equality was quite unique for the time and contributed to the strength and resilience of Viking society. The Vikings were skilled craftsmen, producing intricate jewelry, weapons, and ships that showcased their technical prowess and artistic sensibilities. Their runic alphabet, used for both practical and magical purposes, remains one of the most distinctive symbols of their culture. In essence, the roots of the Vikings reveal a complex and nuanced society, far removed from the stereotypical image of ruthless raiders. They were farmers, traders, explorers, and yes, warriors. But above all, they were a people deeply connected to their land, their gods, and each other. With such a rich cultural foundation, it's no wonder the Vikings went on to leave a significant mark on history. The Viking Age was a period of significant transformation in European history. This era, which spanned from the late 8th to the early 11th century, marked the dawn of a new chapter for the seafaring Norsemen from Scandinavia. But what precipitated the onset of the Viking Age? A combination of factors came into play. The population in Scandinavia was on the rise, leading to a scarcity of arable land. This, coupled with political unrest and the lure of wealth in other lands, set the stage for the Vikings to expand their horizons. The Viking Age truly began with a bang. The year was 793, and the target was the unsuspecting holy island of Lindisfarne, off the coast of Northumbria in England. This raid, brutal and unexpected, sent shockwaves across Europe. It was a stark announcement of the Vikings' arrival on the world stage. However, the Vikings were not just about raids and pillages. They were explorers, traders, and settlers, and they embarked on numerous adventures across uncharted territories. They journeyed west to Iceland, Greenland, and even North America, becoming some of the first Europeans to set foot on these lands. They also headed east, navigating the treacherous river systems of Eastern Europe to reach the trading hubs of the Byzantine Empire and the Caliphate. These endeavors were not without their challenges. The Vikings encountered unfamiliar cultures, hostile forces, and harsh climates. Yet, they persevered, driven by a thirst for exploration and a desire for wealth and glory. Their early conquests were impressive. They established colonies, founded kingdoms, and integrated with local communities. Their influence extended far beyond their homelands, shaping the political, cultural, and economic landscapes of the regions they encountered. The Viking Age was not merely an era of marauding warriors. It was a time of exploration and expansion, of cultural exchange and adaptation. It was a period that saw the Vikings leave a lasting legacy on the tapestry of European history. And thus began an era of exploration, conquest, and expansion that would shape the course of European history. The Vikings were not just warriors but accomplished seafarers as well. Imagine the vast, uncharted waters of the North Atlantic, icy winds biting at your face and the rhythmic cadence of oars slicing through the waves. This was the world of the Vikings, where their mastery of the sea was as legendary as their prowess in battle. Viking shipbuilding was an art form developed over centuries, a testament to their ingenuity and understanding of the sea. Their longships, with their shallow drafts and symmetrical bows and sterns, were designed for both speed and flexibility. They could traverse oceans, yet were nimble enough to navigate narrow riverways. The ships were built using a clinker method, where planks of oak were overlapped and riveted together, forming a hull that was both lightweight and sturdy. But what truly set the Vikings apart was their ability to navigate these treacherous waters. They had no compass or maps as we know them. Instead, they relied on the position of the sun, stars, and even the flight patterns of birds. Some even suggest they used a type of sunstone to determine the sun's position on cloudy days. Their knowledge of the sea, wind, and weather patterns was passed down through generations, a testament to their keen observation and understanding of the natural world. Their maritime prowess enabled them to embark on voyages of exploration, trade, and conquest. From their homelands in Scandinavia, they ventured as far west as North America, as far east as Russia, and as far south as the Mediterranean. They established trade routes, founded colonies, and left their mark on the cultures they encountered. The sea was not just a means of travel for the Vikings, it was a part of their identity. Their sagas are filled with tales of heroic voyages, epic battles at sea, and explorations of distant lands. The sea shaped their worldview, their culture, and their destiny. Their unrivaled skills at sea would play a crucial role in their expansion and influence across Europe. The Vikings were not just warriors, they were explorers, traders, and above all, masters of the sea. The battlefield was where the Vikings truly made their mark. The Vikings, a people characterized by their seafaring abilities, were also fierce warriors. Their strategies and weaponry were unique for their time, contributing to their success in battle. One of the most striking aspects of Viking warfare was their tactical approach. They favored surprise attacks, using their swift longships to launch raids on unsuspecting communities. This method of warfare was known as hit and run, and it allowed the Vikings to inflict maximum damage before their enemies could organize a proper defense. Their choice of weapons was equally strategic. The Vikings were known for their use of axes, swords, and spears, each weapon serving a different purpose in battle. The axe, for example, was a versatile tool that could be used for close combat or thrown at an enemy from a distance. The sword, on the other hand, was a symbol of status, often decorated with intricate designs and used by the most experienced warriors. Among their many conquests, the Vikings are perhaps best known for their attacks on England. The Battle of Maldon in the year 991 is a prime example of their ferocity and cunning. They lured the English army across a causeway during low tide, only to attack them relentlessly once the tide came in, trapping their enemies with no route for escape. The Vikings also played a significant role in the Battle of Stamford Bridge in 1066, a pivotal event in English history. Despite their defeat, The battle is a testament to their resilience and bravery as they fought against overwhelming odds. But it wasn't just their prowess in battle that made the Vikings formidable. Their belief in Valhalla, a warrior's paradise where those who died in battle were said to go, gave them a fearless approach to warfare. This belief, coupled with their tactical acumen and choice of weapons, made them a force to be reckoned with. Their ferocity in battle was truly a sight to behold, earning them a formidable reputation across Europe. The Vikings left behind a rich and enduring legacy. The Viking footprint on European history is more than just a tale of plunder and conquest. Their influence permeated deeply into the fabric of European culture and society, shaping its course in unexpected ways. Let's start with language. A multitude of words in the English language have their roots in Old Norse, the language of the Vikings. These include everyday words like knife, husband, egg, and even they. So every time you make an omelet for your husband, thank the Vikings for the linguistic contribution. The Vikings were not just warriors, they were traders too. They established trade routes that spanned continents, reaching as far as North America in the west and Asia in the east. They traded goods from furs and tusks to silk and spices. Their trading activity stimulated economic growth and fostered cultural exchange, setting the stage for the rise of cities and the growth of a merchant class. Moreover, the Vikings were intrepid explorers. Their seafaring prowess led them to discover and settle in new lands. They were the first Europeans to set foot in North America, predating Columbus by nearly 500 years. Their exploration opened up new horizons and expanded the known world. But perhaps their most enduring legacy lies in their impact on political structures. The Vikings founded kingdoms and established dynasties that would shape the political landscape of Europe for centuries to come. They played a crucial role in the formation of nations such as England, Scotland, and Russia. The Vikings also left a rich cultural heritage in the form of art, literature, and mythology. Their sagas and poems, their intricate carvings and beautiful jewelry continue to inspire and captivate us to this day. The Vikings' impact on Europe was far-reaching, leaving an indelible mark on the continent's history and culture. Their legacy is not one of destruction, but of creation and transformation. They were more than just raiders and conquerors, they were pioneers and catalysts of change. The Viking legacy is a testament to their spirit of adventure, their resilience, and their indomitable will. All good things must come to an end, and so it was with the Vikings. As we venture into the twilight of the Viking Age, we see a society in the throes of change. The close of the 10th century brought with it a shift in the European landscape that spelled the end for our seafaring warriors. Several factors contributed to the decline of the Vikings, and their eventual assimilation into the broader European society. The expansion of Christianity played a significant role in this transformation. As the new faith spread across Europe, it began to permeate the traditionally pagan Viking societies. The conversion was not a swift one, but over time the Vikings began to adopt Christian customs and beliefs. The old gods of Norse mythology, Odin, Thor, and Freya, were gradually replaced with the singular god of Christianity. This shift in religious beliefs ushered in a period of cultural change that saw the decline of the classic Viking way of life. Another crucial factor was the development of centralized kingdoms in Scandinavia. As the region transitioned from a collection of chieftains to unified kingdoms, the classic Viking lifestyle of raiding and exploration became less sustainable. The newly formed kingdoms began to exert control over the Viking warriors, curbing their seafaring expeditions and forcing them to settle down. The changing economic landscape of Europe also played a part in the end of the Vikings. Trade routes were becoming more established and secure, reducing the opportunities for Viking raids. Moreover, the European societies that the Vikings once preyed upon were growing stronger and more capable of defending themselves. Over time, these factors led to the Vikings' assimilation into the broader European society. They transitioned from feared raiders to farmers, traders, and craftsmen, their once formidable longships replaced with plows and hammers. The Viking Age was over, but their influence was not. And so the Viking Age came to an end, but the legacy of the Vikings would live on. The Vikings were more than just warriors and seafarers. Indeed, their story is one that's been etched into the annals of history, leaving a legacy that continues to intrigue and inspire. Let's take a step back and revisit the highlights of this captivating saga. The roots of the Vikings trace back to the Scandinavian lands of today's Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. But their influence was far-reaching, their seafaring skills unparalleled, taking them across the Atlantic to the Americas and as far east as the Byzantine Empire. These were not just raiders but explorers, traders, and settlers. They were the first Europeans to set foot on North American soil, 5 centuries before Christopher Columbus. Their settlements, such as the one at Land's End Meadows in Newfoundland, stand as a testament to their pioneering spirit. And let's not forget their prowess in battle. Their tactics, their weapons, their longships, all revolutionized warfare. Their shield wall formations and surprise attacks were feats of strategic brilliance. Their runic inscriptions have given us a glimpse of their exploits, their beliefs, their worldview. But the Viking Age was not just about conquest and exploration, it was also an age of cultural exchange and assimilation. The Vikings left their mark on the lands they settled, influencing language, culture, and even genetics. Their mythology and sagas have seeped into popular culture, their gods and heroes becoming the stuff of legends and folklore. The end of the Vikings was not a sudden event, but a gradual transition. They assimilated into the cultures they had once invaded, their identities evolving, their legacy enduring. They may have disappeared as a distinct group, but their influence lingers on. The Vikings, a civilization that was as formidable as it was fascinating, continue to captivate us, even today. Their story is a reminder that history is not just about dates and events, but about people, their journeys, their triumphs, and their failures. It's about understanding our past to better navigate our future. It's about appreciating the tapestry of human civilization, woven together by countless threads, including those of the remarkable Vikings.